Hello and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're talking about something that I know many of us are in the middle of, and that is a hard season. Maybe things are not going the way you planned. Maybe you poured everything into something and it hasn't paid off yet. Maybe you feel like you're doing the work, doing the healing, doing all the right things, and life still feels hard. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Why me? What did I do wrong? Is this a sign that I should just stop and quit? And I want to look at you in the eyes through the screen and tell you something I wish someone had told me when I was in the middle of mine. You are not being punished. You are being upgraded. The hard season you're in right now is not life turning its back on you. It's life building you into the woman who can actually hold everything she's asking for. And today I want to break down all of this for you through psychology, through inner work, and through the lenses of feminine and masculine energy. So by the end of this video, you will never look at a hard season the same way. So grab your journal, some hot tea maybe, or some water, and let's get started. So let's look at what a hard season actually is. Most of us, if not all of us, have been conditioned to see difficulty as a signal that something is wrong. That if life is hard, we must have made a mistake, or you just accepted the hard life mindset, or you've been conditioned to think you've chosen the wrong path, made a mistake, missed a sign, but that is survival mindset talking, and it is lying to you. Here's what I want you to consider instead. Every hard season you've ever survived has changed you, not just on the surface, but in your identity, in how you see yourself, and how you see life, and what you believe you are capable of. And a psychologist named Dr. Richard, he coined the term post-traumatic growth. This term is where people who experience significant adversity don't just recover. They surpass who they were before. They report deeper relationships, greater personal strength, expanded possibilities, and a richer spiritual life. Literally, when we process consciously, it is the most powerful growth catalyst available to us. In other words, the hard season is not the door, it's actually the path. The woman you're becoming on the other side of this season, she could not exist without what you're going through right now. And that is the entire point, that is the whole point. So why does it feel like punishment if it's actually growth? Because your nervous system does not know the difference between a threat and a transformation. When we are in a hard season, whether that's financial pressure, relationship challenges, identity confusion, career confusion, or grief, our brain activates the same stress response as a physical threat. Our cortisol spikes. The threat detector center, the amygdala, it starts to go into overdrive. And in that state, our brain's primary job is not growth, it is to survive. So your mind starts looking for the exit, the escape, the quick fix, the reasons to quit. And if you have unhealed wounds from unworthiness, if somewhere deep in your subconscious you carry the belief that you don't deserve good things, or that life is always a struggle, or that success is not safe, your mind will use the hard season as evidence. And that evidence sounds like, see, I told you this would happen. This always happens to me. Oh, that doesn't work out. That's not gonna work out. It didn't work out for me, it's not gonna work out for you. Or, I should have known better. And That is not the truth. That is a pattern. And a pattern can be broken. I want you to notice if any of those thoughts were familiar. That awareness alone is the beginning of you doing the inner work. Now, let's do some inner work around this. I want you to identify the story you're telling yourself right now in this season. Write down the hard season you're currently in or the season you moved through. What story have you been telling yourself about why this season is happening? Maybe you think it happened because of X, Y, and Z. Write it down. Don't judge yourself, just absorb it and try to understand it. That is how we learn, through understanding, not judgment. Now I want you to ask yourself, whose voice is that? Is that something you were taught to believe about yourself? About money, about love, about success? Or is that somebody else's voice? Is that yours? Now I want you to write the opposite story, the version where this hard season is happening for you. What is it building in you? Read that second story every morning this week. Let it compete with the old one. And I want to bring in something that completely changed how I navigate the hard seasons. And this is the lens of masculine and feminine energy. Because I see so many women make one of two mistakes when life gets hard, and I'm guilty of this myself. The first one is going into hyper masculine survival mode. Wounded masculine energy in a hard season looks like forcing, controlling, overworking, knucking your way through, trying to out-hustle the pain, making decisions from fear and urgency, pushing harder when your body's begging you to slow down. I know this one intimately. When things got hard in my life, my default was to work more, do more, control more, run more ads, post more content, so much things. Because if I was busy enough, I didn't have to feel what was actually happening underneath. And all that burnt me out. And it disconnected me further from my intuition, my creativity, and my actual power. The second mistake is collapsing into wounded feminine energy. Wounded feminine energy in a hard season looks like victimhood, helplessness, waiting to be saved, drowning in emotions without processing them, numbing the pain, people pleasing to feel safe, or giving up on yourself because the pain feels like proof that you're not enough. Neither of these serves you. Neither of these. And most of us cycle between both. From forcing to collapsing, from grinding and giving up, without ever finding the center and the reason why. So what does a hard season look like in an alignment with masculine and feminine energy? Aligned feminine energy in a hard season feels like becoming it. She feels everything without becoming it. She allows the grief, she allows the frustration, she allows the fear without making them her identity, because she knows how to alchemize. She trusts the process even when she cannot see the outcome. She surrenders the how while holding the vision. The healed feminine, to me, it sounds like, I trust this is happening for me. I am open to what this is teaching me. And I will feel this fully and let it move through me. Aligned masculine energy in a hard season, based on my experience, it looks like taking intentional action from clarity, from holding the direction, even when motivation is low, creating boundaries that protect you and your energy. And it looks like staying disciplined in the routines that you've built for yourself, that keep you grounded. For me, heal masculine energy action is I will keep showing up no matter what. I will not abandon myself. I will do the next right thing, even when I cannot see the whole path. And this is the woman who comes out of a hard season transformed. Now, so I'm going to work around this in feminine masculine energy. I want you to write this down. Which pattern do you default to in a hard season? Is it hyper masculine? Or is it wounded feminine energy? Now, I want you to write a letter from your aligned self to your struggling self. What does your aligned self want you to know? So let's talk about what is actually happening when you're in a hard season. Because I want you to see it for what it is. You are not falling apart, you are shedding. Think about it like this. A snake cannot grow into a larger snake without shedding the skin it has outgrown. The shedding is not a crisis. It is a biological requirement for the next level of growth. You are doing the same thing. My favorite psychologist, Carl Jung, he wrote one of my favorite books. And he calls this process individuation. The lifelong journey of becoming your most whole and authentic self. And he was very clear that this process is not comfortable. It requires confronting the shadow, facing the parts of yourself you have been avoiding, and dissolving old identities that no longer serve who you are becoming. The hard season is a shedding of an identity that you have outgrown. Maybe it's the identity of someone who plays small. Shedding that identity. Maybe it's the identity of someone who needs external validation to feel worthy. Shedding that identity. Maybe it's the identity of someone who doesn't believe she's capable of building something real. Shedding that identity. Or maybe it's the identity of someone who keeps herself safe by never fully committing. Whatever it is, the hard season is showing you the edges of who you used to be. And it is trying to invite you to step into who you are becoming. That invitation will always feel uncomfortable because the new version of you does not yet feel familiar. She does not yet feel safe. But she even maybe feel like a stretch, but she's real. And she's waiting. And research on growth mindset shows that people who interpret challenges as opportunities for development rather than evidence of fixate limitations, they not only perform better, but report higher levels of meaning and life satisfaction. Now I want you to ask yourself, and answer honestly, who is the woman being forged in this season right now? Can you feel her starting to emerge? Write down 3 qualities that this hard season is developing in you. Maybe it's resilience, maybe it's discernment, maybe it's clarity, maybe it's faith, maybe it's having strong boundaries, higher standards. Ask yourself, what is this season teaching me that I could not have learned any other way? And there's a difference between surviving a hard season and being transformed by it. A lot of people make it through, but some come out bitter, closed, hardened, or exhausted. They knuckled through it, and they miss the lesson. I want more than survival for you. I want true transformation. And so here's how we're gonna move through a hard season with intention. I'm gonna give you 4 tips. Number 1, I want you to feel it without becoming it. Give yourself full permission to feel everything this season is bringing up. The fear, the grief, the anger, the confusion, all these beautiful emotions. To me, they are so beautiful. To just even feel anger. I don't want you to bypass them and feel like guilty when you feel these emotions. You're allowed to feel them, and I want you to feel them fully. I don't want you to numb them with distractions. But also, do not let the feeling become your identity. You're the only one feeling it. You're not the feeling itself. Remember this. Feminine energy is a practice of being the river, not the water. You hold the emotions as it moves through you. You do not become the flood. Tip number 2. Ask better questions. Instead of, why is this happening to me? I want you to ask, what is the season preparing me for? Instead of, when will this all be over? Ask, what is this asking me to release? Instead of, what did I do wrong? Ask, what is this making me stronger in? And in psychology, there's actually a term for this called cognitive reappraisal. It is the psychological process of reinterpreting a situation to change its emotional impact. This is powerful. This shows that simply shifting the question we ask ourselves about a difficult experience measurably reduces stress hormones. And it increases feelings of meaning and agency. You have more power over your experience than you realize. Now, tip number 3. Stay in your practices. This is where the masculine energy serves you. When everything feels uncertain, your journaling, your movement, your breath work, your routine, your prayer, these are your anchors. They keep you tethered to yourself while the season moves through. The woman who keeps showing up for herself in the dark, she is not the same woman on the other side. She's someone who knows in her bones that she can trust herself fully. Tip number 4, I want you to stop trying to rush it. I know, trust me, I know. I want it to be over, all of this, trust me, I get it. I've been there. But urgency is wounded masculine energy trying to control what cannot be controlled. The healed feminine energy knows that some things take time. A diamond does not form overnight. A season does not skip itself. So trust the timing. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the inner work. Hold the vision loud and clear. And release the when, release the how. Trust. So if you're in a hard season right now, I want you to hear this one more time. You are not being punished. You're not behind. You did not make a mistake. You are being upgraded. The version of you that exists on the other side of the season, she is more grounded, more clear, more aligned, more powerful than the version of you that entered it. But she only exists if you choose to do the work, instead of just enduring the weight. So I want you to feel it, I want you to question it, I want you to surrender to it. Surrender is the most important part. I want you to show up for yourself inside of this season, no matter what. And trust that everything hard has a purpose, especially when you cannot see it. If this resonates with you, please subscribe, because every week I'm diving deep on inner work, identity, feminine energy, and the subconscious patterns that shape everything. Your money, your relationship, your business, your life. I want you to leave a comment and tell me what hard season you are moving through or have come out of. And I want to hold space for whatever it is you're carrying. You can also go to our community app and share with the rest of the women in the community. Everything we just talked about through this entire conversation, the identity upgrade, the masculine and feminine energy, the subconscious patterns keeping us stuck in survival mode. This is exactly the work we do inside the Inner Vault. The Inner Vault is my signature program for women who are ready to stop surviving the hard seasons and start being transformed by them. We go deeper into subconscious rewiring, meditation, somatic healing, lots of inner work and shadow work, and the identity level shifts that make everything else, your focus, your abundance, your relationships, all fall into place and into alignment. And the link is in the description. Come do this inner work with me and the other amazing women in the community. Thank you so much for sharing this space. I love you. Bye.